Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Studio 44 live Stadium Extravaganza video. I wanted it to feel as much as possible like a regular premiere, so I threw in the intro. YouTube will probably ding me for it, and I'll have to edit it out later, but I do plan on going in later. Ooh, that reminds me, I should record this. Excuse me. I do want to go back in later and edit this down to a normal size video, because whenever you live stream, it's so much longer and you don't get as many hits. So we all know why we're doing this. I've said this a million times before already. 25 showing up. I've got about 48 stadiums in my queue, and this will kind of expedite the process of getting these videos out to you guys so you can see these awesome stadiums that have been in my queue for far too long. So what we're going to do today is I'm going right through the queue from the very first stadium that's been in there the longest all the way to the latest. I would really rather not show any stadiums from the chat, unless to help grow the channel, it's someone whose stadium I've never shown before. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Like if some, new guy, to Studio 44 comes in and says, hey, my name is so-and-so, you've never shown a stadium on before, but I would love to see it on your channel. Those guys I'd like to sneak in. But, for the Young Guns and the Scotty Warrens and the Sewells and the Murphs and the Sandman Dans, I'd really like to just stick to the ones that I have in the queue for you guys for now, if that's okay. I hope you guys understand the reason for it. And listen, I plan on being on for a while, so I can pop them headphones on and you can call in if I'm breaking down a bunch of your stadiums. So let's have some fun with it. Zach White, hello, sir. I definitely have some stadiums from you in the queue. We'll get to them in just a minute. I don't think they're too far off from the first. So, I hope you guys had a lovely week. I hope you are having a lovely weekend. It's about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I do want to take breaks, unlike I have done in the past, where like when the dog needs to be fed, I'll just get up and leave the thing on. I might stop and take a break and feed the dog. I also might stop to have dinner. The wife is home earlier than expected today, but I like to stop and have dinner with her, maybe even play a little Zelda, and then come back on and go on to who knows how long into the night. And then if I don't get enough done today, I will jump on live tomorrow. I did not get a chance to jump on live yesterday. I got home, I played Zelda after dinner, and I was out before 9 o'clock. I don't know if something's wrong with me or if my age is finally just catching up with me, but I've had a lot of trouble staying up lately on the cruise. I didn't get to play any poker because I usually wait for the in-laws and my wife to fall asleep, and then I sneak downstairs, play poker, but it didn't happen. So, all right, I've rambled on long enough. You guys are here to see some stadiums. So let me pop open this queue. I know who I'm going to see first, but I don't remember the name of the stadium, so I got to get in here. And this is the reason why I don't like to do this live, is because I got to hop in here, and then I got to see the name of the stadium, and I got to wait for it to load, and sometimes if the spelling's mixed up, or if I'm mixed up, then it just takes far too long. So, yeah, I'll show this one live, and then I'll edit it down slowly but surely, and hopefully it'll help get these seen more down the road. But coming up first, we have not only an all-star, but a Hall of Famer, a legend in the community. I keep acting like you guys can't see the screen. You can see exactly who I'm searching for. Low Gear Man, what's up, buddy? Low Gear Man, I might as well just ask you now. I've been trying to get in touch with you somehow. Do you have any interest in being a judge? Today I'm going to shut it down. I think I'm at that 11 or 12. I don't remember exactly who or how many, but I considered you right off the get-go because, you're in all these streams and you're in all the premieres, so I thought you'd be a good judge for the Stadium of the Year contest. So let me know if you want to do that. I'll send out that email address right now, too, because if anyone comes on live, I would like to count today as part of the deadline to be a judge for the contest. Why can't I get in here? close. Okay. Here we go. Studio 44ps at gmail.com. There's the email address if you want to get in touch with me and become a judge or part of the committee. See, this is another reason I don't like to do the thing. There's like a million Mexico Cities on here. Frankie Q, how's it going? I did, Frankie, Zachary. Yeah, so far you, Pfizer, obviously Pfizer and Jace Chiff, and Murph, surprisingly, decided to change their stadium for the contest. I'm allowing everybody a one-time switch to one of the other two stadiums that they submitted originally. I don't want to count new stadiums. Otherwise, it's going to be just a huge mess. So you have the first two stadiums you can change to from the first three that you offered. Your body is adjusting. It could be low gear, man. It really could. Frankie Q's in the house. Zach, good to see all you guys. Look at this. I've been on for, where is it? 5 minutes and I can't get to a stadium. Hi, Zachary. How's it going, Phil? Frankie, it's going great. How are you? I was up before 11 o'clock on my day off, which is very rare. I was up before 10. I did take a nap, though. Harry Boobs is that guy's screen name. Oh, my dear Lord. Excuse me. Oh, my dear Lord. This is this is just terrible. We're on page 15, and I haven't even got to the one I'm looking for yet. Is this the actual name of the stadium? Yeah, Mexico City. Murph says there's already a stadium. This one's been re-uploaded in so many times. This is another one that you run into. Oh, my dear God. What is so special about this stadium that it's been re-uploaded 100 and gajillion, 45 billion, 417,999,422 times? Oh, my dear Lord. All right, I guess I would have found it by now if I would have ran into... But there's a problem. Oh, my dear Lord. The smart thing would have been, I guess, to download some of these, as many as possible, and have them ready to go in my own vault. I could have had 30 of the 48 ready to go. That probably would have been the smart thing to do. I forgot about this stupid Mexico City thing. Oh, no, I didn't search up the user. We're off to a great start, ladies and gentlemen. So happy to have you on a Saturday. Braves fan, Dogs fan, what's up, buddy? I mean, I already went through this guy's vault a million times. I didn't run into him. And there's another thing is I'm not supposed to look at some of this guy's stadiums. right, I'm just going to get to the next page. Oh, I'm on page 32 of this guy already? That's good. Okay. I'd start over again if I didn't do all that fancy intro stuff. Oh, my God. Avalanche, retractable dome. I don't remember that one. FedEx Field, okay, that's one he did for last year. That's one I thought he could have entered into the contest and won the whole thing with. The stadium he made for my brother's really good too. Oh my dear Lord, this is ridiculous. I have so far to go before I even get to his stadiums from this year. Right, Dogs fan, you can do that with the other vaults, right? With like the logo vault and all that other stuff. Ralphington Clock Tower, that doesn't ring a bell. Of course, how do you know what page it's supposed to be on anyway? Or it would be nice to look up the name by the stadium and the creator. That would help big time. If I could type in the name and creator and then boom, it'll bring that stadium right up. Bubba Gump. Hopefully everybody else, it's not this bad. I'm so sorry, guys. What a stadium to start out with. I need to get to his stadiums that he was creating for. It would help if this damn guy wouldn't make so many freaking awesome stadiums so fast. Not template. What the hell? Recent uploads. There we go. Stephen K., how's it going, buddy? Oh, here's the one he turned. Oh, my God. I love that stadium. So good. He turned the Moonshot Casino into a stadium from the Old West. He's got some Archmage-style rebuilds, unless Archmage's made these and he downloaded them and re-uploaded them. Dallas in Nashville. Here we go. Here we go. I think now we're starting to get in here. Studio 44, Hall of Fame Field. I remember when he did that one. That one wasn't too long ago. So hopefully we're getting there. I may cry when we finally see it. Charlotte. Okay, we're getting there, fellas. We're getting there. I'm so excited. I found it. It's here. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. Mexico City MLB. It would have been nice if you had named the MLB in the thing, Murph. I could have found this a lot faster. He just says Mexico City on the stadium name. Mexico City MLB. Now, see this? This is what I go to sometimes when you guys misspell or don't spell the names right. I got to look through and search page by page. Mexico City MLB, Mexico City, Mexico. Altitude of 5,278 feet, which is pretty much max. It'll be ready for us in 2030. Or 2030. Okay, so 5 years from now. Looking at right field, you have a nice concourse that is sucked up right underneath this Anaheim Angels type deck with the two different angles. I love that look. I always thought that looks really cool. Laser ribbon in front. You got the orange. shipping containers there. Fantastic. This is a whole series he did where he couldn't come up with ideas, so he decided to go through and make a bunch of stadiums for teams that could be or who have been fighting for expansions. Look at this center stairway. Oh my God, that's all fantastic. Man, I knew a Murph Stadium would be worth the wait. Excellent. I like how the upper deck gets bigger over here, and then there's a gap for the scoreboard. Part of the stadium is roofed off. Excellent, Murph. Using the brick beamed window. Or wait, this is wood? Yeah, that's probably wood in the middle there. Oh, and then he hid. Oh, no, is that part of the building? Yeah, that's part of the building. Okay. Yeah, that looks great. Murph knows what he's doing. Outstanding. Little city surrounding the area. He's got the light sticking out, or the roof sticking out a little bit further. I don't know if that's for retractable or just to hide from the sun as much as you can without being a roof. That's what the Bills are doing, and I think that's a big mistake. Apparently, they have this system where underneath the roof, there's like a heating system that's supposed to melt the snow before it gets down to the field instead of spending all the money on the roof. And it's supposed to help control the wind. So I hope that works, because I just don't think it makes sense at all to leave any game open to the elements. Oh, no, the Bills have an advantage if it's in the snow and in the wind. They're used to it. Other teams might not be. No. Don't let the weather decide any major game. Let it be decided by the players. Fantastic, Murph. Beautiful stadium. Try to get a good view, but this little... wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to go through stuff like this? Put trestle on top of trestle and trestle. It is called trestle, right? Yeah, the metal trestle. Trestle on top of trestle on top of trestle on top of trestle. And just make a nice beam. Wouldn't that be a great prop to have? Excellent stadium, Murph. Gorgeous as always. Boom. I am going to be a little tighter on the stamps next year. Sam and Ann, how's it going, buddy? Phil, what's up? I heard you're going on Dancing with the Stars TV show. Not till I get in much better shape, buddy. Or maybe that would help put me in shape. But yeah, it'd be fun. It was my dancing days are coming to an end, but it was a lot of fun. So fantastic stadium from Murph as always. I'm gonna go with a motion with the stamp and add it later because, like I said, I am gonna edit these down. And again, if I get to your stadium and maybe there's gonna be a couple in a row, feel free to give me a call. And hopefully it'll work. I'm using the scene that will accept phone calls. Let me get to the new stadium. If you're just tuning in, I'm just going through the vault, deleting them as I show them. Oh, let me see if there's any notes on the Mexico City. He just said he made one for Mexico City, even though they have a big stadium already. Just wanted to make one of his own. So, boom. Mexico City. Cleared from the queue. All right, here we go. Moving right along to someone who started off in the chat, so I hope he's still here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the stadiums that he submitted for the finals. So that one popped so much quicker. Beautiful. So, Low Gear Man, did I get an answer from you, buddy? Do you have any interest in joining the committee? Tiger Shark, you're in, right? We have Keith C. Whitefield from Ranger Man 2264-90. Zach, there he is. He is here to take a look at his very own stadium. It's in Las Colinas, Texas. Has an altitude of 1,000 feet. Built in 1982. Remind me who Keith C. White is, Zach. I like how the stadium is built right into the Red Rocks. Gorgeous. Faced off The outside of the luxury seating with these shipping containers, fantastic. Blending in the red rock and the little mountains or hills or peaks, whatever you want to call them, right in with the Phillies backdrop. That is a nice look as well. You got a goat out here hanging out and a flag, and you got relevant radio. Okay, I remember you telling me about the relevant radio. Let's take a look at the whites. Oh, he's your dad. Okay, and you do play leagues with your dad still, right? So these ballparkers are designed for his dad. Whenever you play against him, he has his ballpark, some of his signature ballparks, special to my dad since he listens to the stations. Okay, I remember all these. Is this one of the stadiums that you entered into the contest? He's got the St. Louis Arch. Is this perhaps to host some kind of retractable roof, or is it just a design? Football stadium right next to the ballpark here, the baseball park. I like the luxury seats in the corner here. That's fantastic. And then you got the multi-layered deck around and behind, which is pretty standard, but you cleaned it up really nice, made it look really cool. You got the Aqua Theater out here. CAF 910 AM, one of your dad's stations to listen to, right? See, now I'm dying to see if this is still one of... I just don't get why they would ever allow this into a game. Why would you let the two lights be next to each other when it clearly gets dark down here too? I don't get how they see that. It just makes me think that they don't care about this tool. You know, that they don't want to take the time to go in here and fix something like this. Keith C. White Field. Excellent, excellent park. From our good buddy Zach White. Got the road outside between the stadiums. Another little ball field back here. Some people are watching that one as well. I like the hills behind it. It'd be fun hitting home runs on the hills. Little League World Series style. I've driven past, or through, I should say, the town that the Little League World Series is in Pennsylvania. On my way back and way to Baltimore, see the Yankees play the Orioles and see my buddy who lives down there. Usually takes us through that city. Don't get to see much of the ball fields, but I can't remember the name of the city either. Nice work. Right field in particular. I like the luxury seats having their little window. EWTN. Fantastic, Zach. We have more from you, sir, so stay tuned. I like the quirky dimensions. The Red Rocks. Oh, this building in here looks really great, too. Outstanding. Putting the sign up in there. Flip that light switch. Yeesh, I don't think that's something I did with Murphs, right? Did I do the lights? All right, Low Gear Man. You're in if you want it. Send an email to Studio44PS at Gmail. This is still open to anyone else who didn't join the contest who I might be familiar with. I don't want to just take, gamer tags I'm not familiar with. Just because the integrity of the voting has already been in question once, I don't want to do that again. Okay. Next up, we have another Stadium Creator legend that we want to hear from. This stadium we've seen plenty of recently. I believe it was his submission into the contest. But again, I've always wanted to show all the stadiums in extravaganza form so that as many people see them as possible. Bo Tigers' entry into this 2024 Stadium of the Year contest is Legion Park. It's in Birmingham, Alabama. Max altitude, built in 2024. I feel kind of silly talking about the stadium just because we've seen it so many times lately, but I do want to get all these stadiums in. I love the retired numbers above the clubhouses in right field. I love the custom concession stands. Nods to myself and Sewell. Thank you, sir. Beautiful, beautiful fountain in right center field with the statue in the middle. Fantastic. And then you got Joe Mama's. But I like the connecting of this building to the deck here, where there's a concourse or standing only room above the luxury seating, counter style seating, and then bleachers and left. Excellent. Pretty standard around and behind. Does have the 2 layers of the luxury plaza, like it gives me a Cleveland vibe. Jacobs Field. I love this corner with the brick facing off the plain concrete up top, and then more so over here with the border of the sign. Always, always, always a good look. Oh, he's got it here too. Nice. And then it acts as a railing too for the standing room folks here in right field. Flip the light switch real quick and then we'll move on, just because we have seen this field quite a bit recently. And well-deserving. It went pretty far in the contest, in at least the first round of the contest, if I'm not mistaken, because it is a gorgeous ballpark. Joe Mama's. Bo Tiger. Thank you, sir. Heading right back over to Zach White. I can't remember if I've shown this one or not again, so my apologies, Zach. I'm sure I'll remember when I see it. The name's not ringing a bell. Actually, the name does ring a bell. Braves fan, I really hope we get a new set of light towers in the new game. There's only a couple that I actually like to use. I agree, Dogs fan. We need more stuff that is stadium related. You know, I don't need an amusement park theme or a road theme or a, you know, I mean, I guess the back in the day theme kind of helps a little bit, you know, if you want to build an older stadium. But at the same time, a lot of that stuff is for outside. I want stuff that's going to help the inside of a stadium look more real. But this is Troopers Ballpark in Mansfield, Texas. Comes to us from Ranger Man 226492. That's another problem with doing these live, is I usually like to have everybody's name and gamer tag up on the screen the whole time, so it's easier to find the stadium if you're looking for it to download it. But this is a ballpark designed to be retractable roof. If FCS was given that option, it would have a roof over it. Ballpark was designed to spin off of the new Globe Life Field and Low Depot Park, which used to be the Marlins Park. This place also channels the Battery of Atlanta that connects to Truist Park, as well as the massive surroundings complex of entertainment for fans to partake in. The playing field sits 60 feet below street level, which could also be a challenge too if you factor in the wind. So let's take a look. Great use of this new batter's eye. I'm a fan of it. I'm not a big fan of the flags. The flags are kind of a turnoff. Oh yeah, I remember this stadium. This was one of yours, or was it the Stadium of the Year for you? Oh, he said it was his third. Okay. I love this grass concourse behind that curls around to the left field. That looks great. Then you got the stairs on top of that. Amazing. Big time fan of that look. Then you got the little Jeep up here above what could either be a bullpen or just like a speed pitch for fans or something. Awesome. And then, like you said, using the arches kind of or not Astrodome, Minute Maid Park, right? Do they have some kind of arches out there in left? And the new Globe Life has the arches. Much bigger though, right? Right field is fantastic too. I love the different levels, hiding, the luxury part with the arches. Excellent. Oh, and then I like the little stairs taking you up to this seating level. You can come down here and chill out maybe. Fantastic, Zach White. And then using the crane as a structure to hold things up. And you did say this is retractable, so maybe this is hosting part of the roof. Yep, you can tell he used the hills to give it that buried in look that he was talking about. Again, the football field right next to it. Nice. Racetrack next to the stadium too. Very fun. Flipping the light switch. Excellent. Oh, I love this behind home plate. That looks great. Making it a little fancier, maybe a little bit more private or intimate for those lucky enough to get seats this close to the ballpark. The bushes is a nice touch. The bleachers also. The smaller seating section closer to the field. Very, very nice. Did I flip the light switch already? I think I did. Yeah, gorgeous. Blammo, there's your stamp. Nice work, Zach. Oh, there's a party pier up here, too. Holy crap. Oh, with a bunch of water. Nice. All right, didn't even look at all that. Quick by the book. This was the original one that moved on for me. Okay, so now is this the one you're switching away from? This one you don't want to do this one next time? Let me see. I can go to the end. Murph is switching his up. Here is, yep, you want to go Zachary's Ballpark in Arlington. Okay, and if I remember correctly, Zachary's Ballpark in Arlington is kind of based on the old stadium, right? So, Troopers Ballpark from Zach White, the third stadium. Nope, the fourth, right? We're looking at today. So, thank you, sir, for sending this one in. I'm glad I finally got it in Stadium Extravaganza format for all to check out. That's a nice picture right there. That's a thumbnail, huh? Yeah, great stadium. All right, Braves fan, are you still here? Because I have you next with that unfinished stadium that you sent a while back. So this is a stadium he said he wanted to create a Lord of the Rings inspired stadium. He hasn't finished it yet, but he kind of got stuck, right? And you wanted to see if maybe you could get some help with it. Maybe someone can remix it, download it and remix it and upload it, and we'll share it with everybody. I would hope that's all I need to type in to look for the stadium, right? Braves fan is still here. Perfect. Oh, that's right. Okay, and I just showed that one recently, right? Because I remember I showed the Blender version. Okay, so this is a stadium that Braves fan needs help on. So let's take a look at it and see if any ideas pop to your head. Download it, remix it. Yep, a lot going on in center field, or a lot of room, I should say, where you could, add some stuff. Here is right field. Welcome to Hobbiton. I don't know much about Lord of the Rings. I tried to watch them. Every time I do, I fall asleep. Pretty standard around and behind. So, yeah, clearly unfinished. I like the pond. I like the reachable pond. I've tried to do this myself. incorporate the pond, excuse me, into a stadium, and that looks really nice. Got the bleachers all lined up. That looks great. And then using some kind of end cap, right? Yep, for the fence behind. Smart. Nice move. Bunch of trees and wildlife, and then you got the little huts coming out of the hill. Okay, I know that about the hobbits, right? They live in the hills. So that looks really cool. So it looks like there's room in center field and maybe behind the area here in right field, and then there's the castle in the background. Excellent. And then using the scoreboard as a place to write out, welcome to Hobbiton. Hobbiton. Am I saying that right? The Prancing Pony. Breaking up the bleachers of the stairs. Always a good look. Nice job. And you got more Hobbit houses. I like using this guy in there too. Fantastic. Big mountain in the background as well. Some crops. All right, reading through a drawbridge would be fire there. Prop or some castle props. I agree. Quick by the book. Remind me of your gamer tag. Are you all sports or fake? Okay, so for those of you who are fans of the series, get some ideas ready. Download the Stadium Hobbiton. It's written right there. Hobbiton Field by Braves fan 11/22/96. He would appreciate some ideas. Download it, tinker with it, re-upload it, and we'll show it again. All right, let's get this other one out of the way. I hate to use the phrase "out of the way" because it makes me sound like I don't appreciate the stadium, because I do. It's a really good stadium, but we've seen it a lot lately, just like the last couple. And the main reason, the two main reasons I'm showing these again are for A, making sure they're seen more because the live videos don't get seen as much, and B, because I am documenting all the stadiums that I've shown, and it's easier to look just by extravaganza videos as opposed to any live stream where I've jumped in and just said, oh, hey, you're on. You want to see that stadium? Okay, we'll look at that stadium real quick. You know what I mean? So this is another stadium that was part of the contest. The first time I showed it was part of the contest. So I want to get it in as part of a Stadium Extravaganza video. I gotta save Bubba. I'm Sewell 21, if you didn't know. Yeah, we know, buddy. Sun Tzu. Quick by the book. Are you and ignore my username. Put your SS in the chat so we can check. SS. I hate to sound stupid, but what's SS? Bubba Gump Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. Altitude 1,050 feet. Built in 2024. Comes to us from Jedi Yank. This was his official entry into the contest. It went pretty far. A gorgeous stadium. Left field. I love the bleachers in front of this grassy area that hosts a home run deck. And he's got the hill, and the thing is labeled up there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, that was someone else. Jenny's Terrace in right field, using the newer building that when you light up, it's going to be all nice and illuminated. There's the Sandcrawler building. I saw one that looked very similar to this in Fort Lauderdale before we took off for our cruise. I showed it in the live video. Just that one little top area that kind of jolts out. Gives me the Sandcrawler vibe. So I always call it the Sandcrawler building now when I see it. I like using this guy as kind of a... Is it an entrance to the stadium, or is it just supposed to be the subway stop? But he's got the turnstiles to bring it into the stadium in center field. Fantastic looking left center field. Buddy M's with the bleachers and blending a bunch of end caps together to create his own steps. Outstanding. Beautiful look. I'm probably not going to end up having time, but I kind of want to build one more stadium before 25. But, you know, with Zelda going on and this contest, it probably makes sense just to wait, see if there's any new props. Okay, Quick by the Book is all sports are great. Do you have the stadium in the queue? Because I don't know if people heard right at the beginning. What I'm doing is I'm going right from the beginning of the queue and going right through, not showing any new stadiums that you post in the thing. Okay? The only exceptions I want to make, and I hope you guys understand this because I want to help grow the channel, is if I haven't seen a gamer tag before and they pop in and they find the channel and they're like, oh, hey, I got a new one. Will you check this one out? I want to build the channel. I want to build, you know, the community. So those guys, I will show their stadiums. But for everyone else, if you could just let me get through the queue first, I'd really appreciate it. And then, you know, that, and then if, you know, we're still alive when we got rid of some of these stadiums. And again, I don't want to use the words got rid of because I love the stadiums. But then we can go through and check out some of the new ones from you guys. And then who knows, maybe if I clean out the queue and I get enough resubmissions before the new game comes out, I'll do another extravaganza video. But yeah, we've seen this stadium quite a bit by now. We all love Jedi Yank's work. That left field is freaking phenomenal. Breaking it up with the stairs and the green hill. This is one of the cooler things I've seen in a stadium. I love this whole thing. If Sewell was still doing his top features thing, that's in there. Blammo. Love it. Which reminds me, Blammo. Boom. Stamped. And I'll stamp them when I edit them. I sent it a while. Oh, yeah, if it's in my queue, then I'll see it. We'll see it today. But I just want to go through an order so I'm not all mixed up and confused. And Jedi Yank, if you're watching down the road, thank you, sir. Murph, hello, sir. Started off the video with one of your stadiums. I kind of wanted to strangle you for a different reason than I normally do. Does this game have real ball physics? I've never noticed the ball actually bounce off anything past the wall in the batter prop. A very little bit, Crook by the Book. You'll notice, like, if you put a roof out in the outfield and you hit a home run out there, a lot of times the ball will hit there, roll down a little bit, and then stop. I find it hard to believe that any ball would, you know, stop, you know, on a downward slant without running into something and being as steep as those roofs are. So it's not the best. I hear that there are splash sounds now when you hit a ball into water, but the balls pretty much bounce off water. I think y'all know who this is from as soon as I type in that it's from 1935. This guy sent me these stadiums so long ago, and it's been so tough to get these all shown. He didn't give me many notes on these because he put them all in one Google form. But this is Alamar Park in Irvington, New Jersey. Has an altitude of 149 feet, built in 1913. But this is the 1935 version of the stadium. Very quirky dimensions. I do not envy lefties who have to hit in this park and like to hit home runs. Let's see, 498 out there. Man, just halfway to the wall is 408. Halfway to that big wall. And it's bigger. That's the biggest part of the fence. They do not want you to hit a home run in left field or right field. Left field, pretty standard. Although it gets to 443 in dead center. 449. Wow. Man, like I said, no wonder Babe Ruth was out hitting entire teams. Who was playing in this stadium, I wonder? It doesn't look like a major league park. By 1935, Yankee Stadium existed, right? And it could seat like 50,000 people. There's more arch custom work making these bleacher sections look amazing. What is this build? Oh, it's wait. What the heck? Oh, all right. It's one of the Wrigley buildings. Outstanding. And then curving the bleachers around looks great. Players Alliance sign. ATG weekly episodes. Old school batter's eye. Another fantastic neighborhood surrounding the ballpark from Arch with the theater and then the bigger, what is this building called? And then some industrial buildings in the back. Nice little crossroad section. Another beautiful little ballpark from Arch. I think we have a couple more from him that we'll get through next. Look at this, the custom design of this structure. Amazing. What's all this stuff out here? Oh, little car. Oh, okay, it's like a parking lot. All right. That's a poke to get the ball out there. Like you said, it was what, 330 down here? 333, which is standard. So I guess, yeah, you could probably get some one of these cars. Ruin that canvas roof on your car. Rip right through it. Excellent work as always, Archmage Chemush. Flip that light switch on, and the city looks amazing. Wow, that is a thumbnail. Dodger Blue, hello, sir. It existed, Phil. Opened in 1923. Okay, yeah, well, I don't question it existing. I just must have a team, no lefties. Lobotomy Scam, hello, sir. You are an unfamiliar name. Nice to have you in the live stream. In my road to the show, I'm playing at Griffith Stadium with the Yankees. Not many home runs. I'm a pitcher. Okay. Lobotomy Scam, have I ever showed a stadium of yours? Would I recognize your gamer tag if you told me? It's always nice to see new blood in the streams. Look at that. Look at that shot, though. That's gorgeous. Is anyone excited about the high school and college road to the show now that we've seen more about it? I'm not excited about the franchise stuff I've seen. I know a lot of people really like the fact that they're upgrading trade logic and free agent signing stuff, but my stuff more involved with each individual team being able to give them more of a give them more custom jerseys. I would like at least one alternate for each. But if you can't give us one alternate for each home and away, at least one alternate, and even better. Awesome, Lobotomy Scam. Love to have you. Appreciate your tuning in. Awesome. But yeah, I would love to see the ability to edit the uniforms mid-franchise. That would be even better, because then you basically have unlimited. Okay, next up is another arch. We're going to have a few arch in a row because I separated them in the queue just to keep me better organized. This is another stadium from 1935. Must be a 1935 season that ATG is playing. Oh, this says it's FKA Bison Stadium. All right, let's bust in. Okay, it's weird to see padded home run fence from Arch. This stadium's in Buffalo, New York, not too far from me, about an hour and a half, hour from Rochester. Offerman Stadium, 1935, FKA Bison Stadium. They are still called the Buffalo Bisons. Has an altitude of 640 feet, built in 1923. I wonder if this is in the same spot as the current stadium. Of course, the Blue Jays played there, so if you're Blue Jays fans, you've seen the current stadium quite a bit. Say Pepsi, please. No, thank you. I will say Coke. What is this building? Oh, is it the race prop? Yeah, okay. It's the Speedway barriers. Is that this year? Are we going back to London? London. The Field of Dreams game. And lobotomy scam. Are you a Bills guy? Are you from the area, Rochester? I'm from Rochester, New York. But the Speedway, London, and the Field of Dreams, all possible stadiums to play in. The other thing we got to look forward to in 25 is, are we going to be playing Rays games in Legends Field in Tampa, or are they just going to keep them in Tropicana? And then the other is the A's. I got to think they made the A Stadium, right? Because there's 2 more seasons after this that they got to play in that minor league park. But more Arch doing Arch things with this custom base of the stands, looking amazing, using the cell tower pole as a beams to hold up the roof over the seating. And then I'm guessing he had to give like a slanted look over here, but you can't quite do it with the props given, but he pulled it off nicely. And then there's ATG over the home plate question mark. Custom advertising out here and right looks great. You're going to be breaking windows in this house, right? How deep is this? 297. Oh, yeah, those houses are in trouble. Batting practice, especially, blammo, right through some of those frickin' windows. Kind of a Fenway Park look with the high wall and left, and then it gradually gets shorter. Doors right out there in center field. Old school scoreboard out there. I feel like I say the same things over and over and over again with Arch's stadiums, and it feels like I'm not giving him justice, his due respect and love, but every stadium is just so detailed, and he, like I say over and over again, he finds a way. Arch finds a way to get the look he needs with the props that we have. Always nails it. Oh, this is the racetrack hidden. Okay. The newer racetrack. I guess there is only one racetrack, huh? But there are, there's a track and field track. Then he's got ramps to bring you up into the stadium and a custom little entry gate using that bridge, the Beetlejuice type bridge. Outstanding Arch, as always. Maybe I'll get through Arch's stadiums and wrap up portion 1 of this video. Feed the dog and then jump back on to keep going. But yeah, that looks great. Using the drier looking infield pattern makes sense for an older stadium. I doubt they went through and took the time back in the day to wet everything down like they do now. There's a stamp. Again, sorry if I don't give all the deserving stamps, but I am going to be more strict. I do, because like I said in previous live streams, the idea of the stamp was, is this a true Stadium of the Year? Could this win the Stadium of the Year? Wow, is it me or am I really blurry? There we go. Not that it's any treat to see me in 4K. But, yeah. Oh, it's got NBC sign out here. Okay. And then he threw the clock in the middle of all that, too. Excellent. But yeah, the whole purpose of the stamp was, could the stadium really win Stadium of the Year? And that's what I want the stamps to go back into, not just the stamp that I really like. For a stadium that I really like. Nice work, Arch. Let's see if I have more from you. I've lived in Las Vegas a few times. How do you get to ATG in this game? Well, I think they have rosters, so maybe we can do that real quick. Just search and see. Saratoga area. Okay, live in Las Vegas now. All right. But yeah, Bills Mafia is huge. The Bills love playing in Buffalo just because, or the Bills players love playing in, just because of how crazy some of those fans can be. And like, we've done things like people know where the Bills live, and then when we have snowstorms, they'll go and help dig players' driveways out so they can get to practices and games and stuff. And then there's things like, who was the dude for the Ravens who didn't catch that ball at the end there? The Baltimore Ravens fans were like sending him death threats and saying all kinds of nasty things about him. And then the Bills Mafia started a GoFundMe for one of his charities, and it raised like thousands and thousands of dollars. The Bills fans do that kind of thing frequently. Scotty! Awesome. I know we have stadiums in the queue from you, sir. I think we're still on Arch. Let me see. Offerman, we just showed, right? Boom. Another one down. Still like 40 stadiums to go, fellas. Oh, nope. We moved on from Arch, and we're going back to another legend. This is another stadium that I think I showed with him maybe on the phone, as it was part of his Stadium of the Year entries. So we've only seen this one once because it has not moved on, or it did not move on. I apologize. I'm a little stuffy today. Look at that, popped up right away. All right, folks, we have All-American Field in Mid-America, USA. Pretty close to max altitude. Built in 2024 by the man, the myth, the legend, Murph075. If I remember correctly, yep, he had this crazy, beautiful structure in center field for his concourse. Great pattern to make a funky design in the ground, which would make great blimp shots. And then over here, what do you got? Josh Gibson, Negro League Museum. Fantastic. And then people are hanging out on top of that, checking out the ball game, checking out the action down below. Multi-tiered ballpark eats, concession area in right center. Fan-freaking-tastic. Murph, are you still here, buddy? I like this big concourse in right center field. The lower level of it looks great with some picnic tables and some kiosks, bleachers layered above it. The steps look amazing. Building off the steps, outstanding. And then fountains. Oh, there's water in there too. Okay, excellent. The fountains sticking out of the water. So you're hitting home runs into the trees, you're hitting home runs over the trees, and maybe into the crowd. How deep is it back here? 345. Okay, that's a poke, so getting back here might be tough, especially into the upper deck. Oh, this looks great, too. The way he curved this around, and then this one is a straight cut in. Outstanding, Murph. See, now that this is truly one of those stadiums that could have won Stadium of the Year. Multi-layered restaurant seating outside left center field here, just past the home run fence. You got a target on top of this Jeep. Excellent. This guy. Very quirky dimensions in there. Must be deep out there, huh? In left center field. .368. Yeah, that's a poke. And then .397, .390 out here. .400. So, yeah, that's a poke out there in left. Using the Texas Rangers batters eye. And then I like how you buried a bunch of these and kept a bunch up. It's like it's all part of, the ballpark village that was, constructed with the stadium. Like Howard Terminal was supposed to be in Atlanta and all these other stadiums. Chicago now, the new section out there. It's not from 24, so that's the only reason it's not, right? I believe it was created in the 23 version of the game. So, by the rules of the contest, it is not eligible. It lost out to Costco last year, right? Outstanding, Murph. Blammo. Truly a Stadium of the Year candidate. Anything you put together usually is a Stadium of the Year candidate. So creative, so original. Yeah, it's weird. Your stadiums don't look alike, but I can usually tell your style. So it's crazy how you pull that off. What do you got? The Wolves? Yep. Making the entry gate. That's fun. That whole concourse back there is amazing. Nice work, sir. Oh, Sewell, what are we going to do with you, buddy? All right. Okay, now we're going back to Arch. This one, I think he entered into the stadium also. Stadium of the Year contest. And then Fiserv's on deck. That should be enough, I think, right? Is it really less than 2 weeks? Holy hell. I was going to take the day off and get on first thing in the morning, but it's looking like I can't do it because I had my... Sorry to bring this up. It's not pleasant to talk about, but I had my colonoscopy scheduled the day before. So I think it'll look a little suspicious if I sign up or if I have the half the day off for that and then take the day off. So at the time I set up for my colonoscopy, I didn't know when the game was coming out. So the early release day, I won't be able to get on first thing in the morning like I wanted to, but I'll be on right after work around 2:40 to take a look at the new props and see if there's anything new. So, okay, this is Kauffman Stadium, 95 to 03. I think it was 1995. They went to all grass in the infield, which is loads, freaking huge steps better than that crappy artificial turf where you just had the dirt patches. Obviously, Kansas City, Missouri, 885 feet is your altitude, built in 1973, making it one of the older parks in the league. And I know new ownership of the Kansas City Royals want to move the stadium downtown. Great work on this, as always, from Arch. It's so nice to see him, dip into the waters of more modern stadiums. Although we've seen, like Three Rivers and the Astrodome and stuff like that from him. But he's got the layered fountains out here in left center, and then the hills, which is huge for me. I remember Mark complaining about the renovations that they made, adding all those luxury seating and walkways and restaurants and team stores and stuff, because he always loved the stadium having the fountains and all the greenery out here. But to me, I think both versions are great in their own ways, but it's definitely better with the grass in the infield. And then, of course, ATG is represented everywhere using the Royals lights and the Royals scoreboard, of course. Was it Frank White? Is that his name? The second baseman? And then George Brett. And is this Brett Saberhagen, 20? Or is that the pitcher? Who's the pitcher? Who is their ace? Brett Saberhagen. Dan Quisenberry is the closer. That's who I was thinking of. But looking back at this World Series, this is something that frustrated Don Mattingly because the Yankees just got outplayed by the Blue Jays towards the end of the season, and the Blue Jays went to the playoffs and got rocked by the Royals. Well, I don't know if they got rocked, but they lost to the Royals. And Mattingly always said 85 was such a crappy year because he won the MVP, and he thought the team was one of their better teams that he's ever played on. And if they just would have made it, to the playoffs, they could have beat the Royals because they knocked them around all year and went on to the World Series. And, of course, there's the big controversial call in the World Series where the guy was clearly out at first. And if you had replay back in the day, maybe the St. Louis Cardinals are the 1985 World Series champs. Murph, if you're still here, you'll know all about that, I'm sure. Let's see. Just call in and say your butt hurts. I can maybe do that. Low gear, man. This is more like the 70s Kaufman, I remember. Yeah, excuse me. I don't think they did much work in the outfield when they turned it grass. And I think that's the look he was going for. Very Anaheim Dodger Stadium with the left field, right? They used to have kind of like a lower fence, like right along the poles, kind of like the Dodgers and Angels did. I don't remember the bullpens being there, but I certainly trust Arch when it comes to recreating. I do remember seeing the highways, the cars drive by in the outfield. Did I flip the light switch? Looks like he had to customize the roof on the stadium to give it the look. And again, that slanted look that he had to do over here, kind of tough to do, but he did it in like a step formation, which definitely gives you the Kauffman Stadium vibe. So, yeah, this is a stadium I would have liked to have seen before it gets demolished, but I don't know if is there much going on in Kansas City where we can make a trip out of it? And can we do it before it's demolished? It seems like all of our money's going into our cruises that our in-laws keep paying the majority of them for. So, but, yeah, you got the fan stair ramps out here and faced off with Carmen's dad's building and the Moonshot Casino Hotel. Gorgeous, gorgeous stadium. Again, one of Arch's submissions into the 2023 or 24 Stadium of the Year contest. The Cards were robbed. My first year really following baseball, my 10-year-old heart was broken with that call. So, yes, I'm right. There was a call in the World Series that would they have won that game and then it would have been over? But I do remember the circumstances being like it could have make or break the World Series that year. So that's why I think you just have to get things right. I love that they are using the replay system in spring training this year, and it's going to be a bummer to see the start of the season start without it. I say keep it going. People say, I don't know if I like all robotic umps, but and I don't know if I like the replay system at home. If you like the replay system that they have right now, and you don't like the replay system in the balls and strike calls, you're a hypocrite. You're lying. Because the whole idea is to get the calls right. It's embarrassing to the league when you can clearly see on TV that the call was blown. And then you hand some big game over to the team that was the beneficiary of that call. You got to get the calls right when it's that clear on TV that it was wrong. So you got to take advantage of this new technology that they have. And it happens pretty fast. It sure did in the minor league games that I haven't watched the spring training game yet this year, because of my trip and whatever. And I always turn yes off as soon as the season ends, so I got to turn yes back on so I can start watching. But Don Dinkinger was the ump. He was eventually forgiven by the fans and was actually at some of the official events for the Cards. That's cool. 2027 electronic strike zone needs adjustment. Okay, yeah, I'm all for it. As long as they have some kind of strike zone that's in the books, every player's head where it is, I think the hitting will take a step up. Of course, I thought batting average was increased a lot more with the shifts too, but the shifts are, I guess, haven't had too much of an impact on the league batting average as much as I would like it to. I think maybe analytics are still having a say in that, saying that the home run. I do too, Sewell. I think I don't see what's so horrible about a robotic strike zone in the way that they've tested it in independent leagues. The umpire's wearing a phone that has a headset, and the headset tells him whether the pitch was a ball or strike, and then he makes the call. He lets everyone know it's a strike. It's not done by the scoreboard or whatever, but the umpire can still be there for foul balls or check swings or whatever, But I don't see what's so horrible about it if you still have the ump there with an earpiece in telling everybody if it's strike or a ball or whatever. You can't keep making hitters guess umpire strike zones. It's just not fair. Hitting is hard enough. Who's up next? Oh, it was Pfizer, right? Oh my God, another stadium we've seen before. Again, not that they're bad, it's just that I want to see the new stuff. I think we've seen this one, right? Maybe not. Did he have two stadiums named after canoes? Or with canoes in the names? I know he did the Home Run Derby one. All right, and I'm just spelling it how he has it spelled here. All right, this will be a good test. How many stadiums have the word canoe in them now? Thanks to the channel's love of canoe. The ballpark at the Canoe Casino, is that it? No. Canoe Factory. Then maybe this will be the last stadium I show before taking a little break. I'll feed the dog. Oh, here's Canoe Coliseum. Yeah, he put two L's in the spelling here. Okay, so it looks like it's based on... Let me see if that's what it says in the notes. Heavily based off the LA Memorial Coliseum. Okay, great. So we'll see this one. The auto strike zone has some crazy issues, though. I don't like how precise it is. 51% of the ball should be in the zone to overturn, not 2 nanometers, like a real call. Okay, I think that's fair enough. Careful if a bunch of those are going to be in the... Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, that was a problem I had with Murph. I didn't want to look at his stadiums when I was uploaded before because I couldn't find Mexico. Because there's a gajillion and a half pages of Mexico City. So I wanted to look up by his name, and I knew. But anyway, Canoe Coliseum, 1965, San Diego, California. Altitude of 547 feet, built in 1923. As I already read in the notes, he said this is heavily based on the LA Memorial Coliseum. He wanted to make an old bowl-style stadium that was supposed to be a football stadium. He had a couple versions of this, like an old one and a new one. This is a 65 one, so I'm guessing this is the other one. Home of San Diego Canoes baseball team. Detailed arches, tunnels, and concourse seating. Suites, press box, garden, past arches, and exterior. So enjoy. All right. Pfizer, I'm sure we will. Short and left field, kind of like, well, maybe not too short. If I can get a grip on this. Here we go. 270 down the line, but then it gets pretty deep out here. 408. And then it curves around to Normal style. Yeah, I do like the bowl using the wall here to kind of, you know, raise the stands for a walkway in between. Yep, and he's got a little natural walkway in there, looking great. Very nice job with the arches. Man, that had to be a lot of work. Very Minecrafty looking because you can't do the round, but that's nice. And uses a couple buildings here to create the kind of the base or the end of this arch structure, and then using the tile down at the bottom. Excellent. The Canoe Coliseum with a canoe. I think that's the first time I've hit the old canoe horn in this live extravaganza video. So yeah, we'll make this one the last one for part 1 of the video. Cool looking bowl style, very clean look, at least from the outside of the stadium. Big parking lot, and like he said, a little garden just past the arches. And by garden, I mean basically some trees. It's in San Diego because we're kind of poking fun at San Diego studios for making such a big deal out of canoes, or for even having canoes as a prop. It should be kayaks for those stadiums where you can hit the ball into water. That's what you see out there, not canoes. Very nice. Yeah, I feel like you've seen quite a bit of the Coliseums out there. And there's the press boxes or luxury seating he was talking about. Customize. What is this? Oh, okay, it's the one building turned around. All right, nice work. From Pfizer. So how did you have to do this? You had to, okay, end it here and then blend it into the rest of the seating. Good work. And the custom tunnels. Wow. This must have taken up a lot of memory. Oh, and you do have a lot of seats too, because you have to blend them in and add extra ones to create the end up here over the tunnels. Nice work. One thing I'm pleasantly surprised with was my lack of as I do it, tongue tripping in this live. I know I've done it a few times, but it feels like I do it so many more times in a video I record. So hopefully this should be a pretty smooth, easy edit when I re-upload them. But all right, there it is, Canoe Coliseum from Pfizer. We will call that a wrap on part 1. I'm going to feed the dog, sign off, maybe talk to the wife about what she wants to do for dinner, and then we'll be back. And then I'll probably have to be on again tomorrow to finish up, but I do want to get a bunch of these. Tampa Bay and the Yankees tied it in the spring. Oh, tried it in the spring. Okay. The auto strike zone has some crazy issues, though. Okay, I don't like how precise it is. Okay, maybe we read through all that stuff. So we'll call that a wrap on part 1 of the first ever live Stadium Extravaganza in Studio 44. We have high 30s of stadiums to see still. So stay tuned. Be checking out your notifications. Tune in and out to YouTube. And we will be back on soon. So thank you for watching portion 1. And we'll see you very, 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 very